Close your eyes. Imagine you're friends with the rich kids. You're skiing at the most luxury resorts and driving the most fancy cars, so fancy that people stop and take a picture of it. You casually travel around the world and check in at the most luxurious hotels. When it's time for the fashion week, you sit at the front row and nobody can understand, who is this person? You're so mysterious. Overall, life just feels so good. Now open your eyes. Back to the reality. Sorry. Let me remind you of something. You are the average of 5 people with who you spend most of your time. Now imagine if those 5 people are rich kids. You pick up their behaviors, their attitude, as well as their hobbies. You start speaking like them.
Bonjour!
And now imagine you also get access to their network. And your chances of succeeding, they don't just double, they go over the roof. So in today's lesson, we will cover how do you become friends with rich kids and how do you get rich kids opportunities along the way. One of the things which people always ask, where do I even meet rich kids? If you're really looking to find them, here's a quick tip for you. The majority of residencies also have the hotels. You're gonna go to the afternoon tea parties because rich kid residents are also gonna be there. You will go there and you will blend with them. What should I wear, you're thinking? It's better to be stylish in your simple clothes rather than buying one Gucci t-shirt which you will be wearing every day. But here's a very important thing. There are 2 types of rich kids. The normal ones and the ones who will never talk to you if you're outside of their circle.
The last thing I'm going to do is have poor friends.
Okay. Don't talk to the ones who clearly not interested in you. Don't be desperate, because if you look desperate, other people who are open-minded will also think that you have evil motives. Once you already make this connection, how do you leverage it in order to change your life to the fullest? Let me explain one thing. Rich kids are usually pretty close with their parents. So there's going to be one time when they will tell you, I don't want to go to a restaurant. Let's go home because my chef has prepared something for you. This is your time to shine. This is your opportunity to actually change your life. And you know why? Because there is a chance that you will meet their parents now. Rule number 1, never come home empty-handed. It's all about the manners. If you come empty-handed, parents will not be impressed. So, as you're driving with your favorite rich kid and their driver, ask the driver to make a stop and buy some nice flowers for the mom and maybe something sweet for the dad. So as you enter the house, you will make a good impression on them. Here's what you have to do. Never ask them for money, but always ask for an opportunity. A lot of people don't understand that money ends really fast, but opportunity can take you the long way. If the parents of your rich kid are self-made, they will see themselves in you. So here's what you have to do. You have to maybe pretend or maybe be real that you're actually very interested in an opportunity. Start telling them about your life. What are your goals? What are your inspirations? They will be so proud of you because their rich kid is probably not that interested in this, but you will be their second son or their second daughter. What a dream come true. Now let me tell you that this is not just a theory. Let me tell you a story of my friend. In order to understand this story, you have to understand my background. We were a group of rich kids, but somehow we had a lot of kids who were also from different financial backgrounds. And there was this one guy in particular who literally became way more successful than we are right now because he knew how to build relationships with our parents. Every time we would go on vacation, we would always pay for him because his company was so good, we never wanted to go anywhere without him. When we would offer, he would say, but I don't have money. And my friend would always respond, I didn't ask if you have money, I asked if you wanted to join. But the thing about him, he always knew when to say no, and it only made us respect him more. He became such amazing friends with our parents that when it was time to get accepted to universities, our parents were the ones who offered to refer him to Ivy League school. So he got this referral, and guess what? He got into the Ivy League school. When he already went to that university, he blended in with rich kids so easily. Guess why? Because we were taking him to the rich kid places, he knew all of the vacation spots, he knew all of our hobbies. What a leverage it was for him. And time went by, 4 years later, guess what? Another friend from university's parents now referred him to JP Morgan. So when you're friends with the rich kids, the worst thing you can do is just actually ask them for money, because when you ask for money, they think that you are only interested in this. They want to think that they're a part of your success story. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to look at the other person and say, I helped him along the way? Makes you look like you're so nice. So this is what you have to understand. Never underestimate the power of connections. When you're becoming friends with them, the main thing is not traveling somewhere. The main thing is not purchasing something or getting the gifts from the girls or the guys. The best thing you can do is to get access to their network, because network is what will get you along the way. And now, questions from the students. Thank you, buddy. What have we got here today? My parents never allowed me to go anywhere with any rich friends because it's embarrassing for them. And this would make my family feel bad. I understand what you mean, but I think it's also such a missing opportunity to not hang out with rich friends if you have them. If your family feels bad for it, I very much love my family and I preach for transparency and honesty, but it seems like you can lie about it just to hang out with them. And the question is it your parents only who feel embarrassed, or is it also you who feels embarrassed? Because it's all about the internal mindset. Usually you're the one who thinks that you don't belong, that you're an outsider, but the majority of people actually don't think that you don't belong. Once you act confident, that's all that matters. Remember the story I just told about my friend? He acted like he is the richest one of us, and that's what made us like him. Because it didn't matter what is his financial situation. What really mattered is his attitude. So, don't miss out on opportunities with hanging out with rich friends, and just use it wisely. Good question. Come back, buddy. Next question. Do you ever feel like these relationships were fake? People just want something from you. I'm not gonna lie, there were a lot of relationships in my life when people used me for this, but it's my own honest mistake. I mean, it's not only when your rich people use you. It doesn't matter in what financial situation you are, you will have fake friends. So I don't think it has anything to do with money. You just have to be aware and understand if people are genuine with you or not. It's easy to blame other people and say that they're with you only for money, but sometimes you as a rich kid have nothing else to offer but money. So do some internal work as well. Good questions today, guys. Good job. Last question of the day. Can you talk about any differences you notice among rich in the US versus Ukrainian or Europeans in general? Good question. I can compare Ukraine and the US because I am myself Ukrainian and I lived in the US for almost 10 years now. The biggest difference I have noticed is obviously because of the history, we are very new money, so we're way more flashy. We always want to let other people know that, come on, look, we just made it. That's why we're wearing all of the fanciest clothes, because God forbid somebody thinks that we're poor. Never. But US kids, they're mostly used to the fact that they're rich, so they're not that flashy. But one of the things I have noticed, and I think I'm talking more between old money and new money when I'm talking about Ukraine and the US, but we have way higher of an allowance. So usually when we go out with our American friends, no matter how rich their parents are, we're still the ones who are covering their bill, because their parents just don't think that it's needed to give them that much money. So as a result, they're richer than us, they're old money, but we're paying for them. So I guess that's the difference which I have noticed. Good questions today, students. In the next episode, we're gonna cover something even more interesting, so stay tuned.